welcome to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics. Today is Monday, 9 December. I'm your host Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence, and every weekday we bring you not just the news, but the so what from the events and decisions that shape our world. So grab a coffee and get ready to be informed. In today's update, we'll be covering Australia is seeking to block China with a Nauru security deal. Germany is halting Syrian asylum decisions, and Romanian police have foiled an armed mercenary plot. So firstly, Australia and Nauru have signed a landmark security treaty aimed at enhancing regional stability and countering China's growing influence in the Pacific. The deal provides Nauru with $100 million Australian dollars in direct budget support over the next 5 years and grants Australia significant oversight of Nauru's key infrastructure. As part of the agreement, Nauru must consult Australia before entering into any bilateral agreements on defence, maritime security, or policing, and seek Canberra's approval for deals involving its ports, airfields, and banking sector. Australia has also committed to ensuring Nauru's access to banking services, addressing challenges posed by the withdrawal of the Western banking due to financial and political concerns. This treaty reflects Australia's broader strategy to counter China's expanding influence in the Pacific. Nauru, a former ally of Taiwan, restored diplomatic ties with China earlier this year, raising concerns in Canberra. The Bank of China has already signed agreements with Nauru, while Beijing has strengthened political and security ties with neighbouring Pacific islands such as Kiribati and the Solomon Islands. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese emphasised the treaty's importance for regional peace and resilience, while Nauru's president expressed appreciation for Australia's support in addressing the island's nation's development challenges and ensuring its stability. So what? While this is not winning the influence war against China in the Pacific, it is a positive step. However, it is possible that this will not be enough, and China will still have significant influence in the country. Generally, these countries try to play the middle ground and get as much as they can, which is fair enough, but a dangerous game. Also, it'll be interesting to see what New Zealand does in the Pacific and if it ups its support for such small nations. And next, Germany has decided to temporarily suspend decisions on asylum applications for Syrian citizens following the fall of former President Bashar al-Assad. The suspension affects over 47,000 asylum cases, with the Federal Office of Migration and Refugees emphasising the need for detailed case reviews and on-the-ground assessments in Syria. The Interior Minister expressed optimism that the end of Assad's regime may offer hope for many Syrian refugees in Germany to return home and contribute to the rebuilding of their country. Currently, Germany hosts nearly 1 million Syrians, including those with refugee or subsidiary protection status, underscoring a significant impact on this policy change. Austria has taken similar measures, halting 7,300 Syrian asylum applications and announcing plans for deportations. Austria's Interior Minister has stated the ministry is preparing and organising repatriation programs to Syria. Both countries' decisions reflect the reassessment of the Syrian asylum landscape following Assad's ousting, though the situation has sparked concerns for the safety and readiness for Syrian returnees. The pause to the asylum process marks a turning point in European processes and the Syrian refugee crisis, raising questions about the future of displaced Syrians in the region. Additionally, moments ago, the United Kingdom announced similar changes and that they would investigate further. So what? I'm not surprised by this move. Germany, in particular, has become very wary of migration and has been looking for ways to reduce its current levels. It is likely that this will be seen positively by ethnic Germans, but negatively by most migrants. Additionally, It is likely that this will become a key political topic in the upcoming German elections, with far-right parties previously pushing for a similar move, even before the fall of Assad. And lastly, Romanian authorities detained 20 individuals, including a former mercenary leader and local political figure, on their way to Bucharest, seizing weapons and cash in multiple currencies. Reports suggest that the group, allegedly led by Porter, was planning to disrupt protests against the far-right presidential candidate and had reserved accommodation near Bucharest's University Square. Police confiscated weapons from their vehicles and found a list of politicians and journalists allegedly targeted for intimidation. Romanian officials confirmed the operation and the questioning of 13 individuals, but provided limited details. Portra faces charges of weapons possession and public incitement, which his lawyers have denied, claiming no evidence of a connection to the politicians. The far-right political candidate is controversial and has denied involvement in Portra or the group, stating that he had never met him. This adds to Romania's mounting political tension, which has escalated after the Constitutional Court annulled the presidential election's first round, citing Russian interference. So what? This is a significant development for the country, and it appears possible that this group was encouraged, if not also funded, by Russia to disrupt protests and intimidate politicians and journalists. While it is unlikely that they will ever admit to these charges, it is possible that a significant amount of information can be collected from their electronic devices, even if they follow good OPSEC procedures. This would highly likely be beneficial not only for the police investigation against them, but for Romania's intelligence agencies to identify possible Russian agents in the country or working internationally against the country's interests. Thank you for listening to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing for global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. If you want to support the podcast, tell your friends and help them stay informed, and leave us a 5-star review. Or if you want to learn more about intelligence, why not take one of our courses? They're all online, self-paced and affordable. They're currently 30% off with the code 30K. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.